Okay guys, so right now we're going to be doing a little bit of wiring while we're waiting for the headlights to dry. But I do want to kind of go in depth for how I'm going to wire these in, because I'm also going to be wiring in some additional accessories. Now I already showed you the fuse box that I'm going to be running. I'm going to be adding a fuse box to the car, and I'm also going to be doing this on a switched relay, which means when you turn the car on, it's going to power up the fuse box and give you power to all your accessories. I'm going to be running quite a few different accessories on the car, which include gauges, a multitude of lights. That's probably going to be it for the most part that I'm going to be running on this. So I do want to go into depth for how we are going to install this and get everything set up the way we want it to. Now for setting this up, one of the first things you need to do is ask yourself where you're going to put this. You can choose to put this wherever you want. You could put it inside of the car, underneath the dash, where your other fuse box is, or you could put it somewhere in the engine bay. I think the best spot for my application, and looking this over where I was going to install this, you are gonna have to, I would recommend putting it close to your battery or a fuse box. And reason being is because you're gonna have to wire this into both the battery and also tap this into your fuse box. So if you put it close, you don't have to really stretch a whole lot of wire to it. If not, it's not a big deal. But I think one of the best spots to put this is going to be right about in here, because I'm going to have good access to it. You can easily get to it. So I think that this is going to be a decent spot for me to mount this. I'll go ahead and mount this at a different time, but we are going to probably set that there. And then since we are running it on a switched relay, we have just a 30 to 40 amp relay here. I'm probably going to be putting this right next to it, so this is going to go probably somewhere right about in here. I'll have to figure out where the best spot exactly is in, but I want it pretty close to that fuse box, so somewhere in the back over here. All right, so I'm going to show you what I have going on here so far. So this is the diagram that came with the relay, and this shows you how to actually wire up the relay. So the relay, it automatically comes with these wires that are already attached to it, and it just unclips from the actual wiring part right here. We're going to be using all of these wires except for the red one. The red one we're not going to use because it doesn't relate to a switched power. So we're going to use all the other wires, and I have them labeled on here where they need to go to. So this blue wire, which is also pin number 30, this is going to go directly to your battery. This black wire right here, this is just going to go to any ground on the chassis. This is pin number 85. The white wire over here, this is going to go to your switched power source. So that means that this is going to go to an accessory on the car. You can tap into your fuse box either under the hood or underneath the dash of the car. You need to test for a switched power source to see what one to tap into. And once you tap into that fuse, you're going to wire it to that white wire right there. And that's going to be pin number 86. And then your yellow wire is going to go to your fuse box. So that's going to be the wire that goes to this, wherever you put it. It's the one wire that's going to go directly into this. So right now, I'm in the process of finding the switch power in the fuse box. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that here in just a moment. But so far, what I have set up is I have a little ring terminal on this yellow wire, and this is the one that's going to go on top of the fuse box. So that one's going to go directly to this one right here. And then this blue wire, this is going to go directly to the battery. So I'll have to hook that up. I already have a little wire here ready and set to go. This is going to get connected into that blue wire. And we're working on the white wire, so the switch power. So for finding that switch power, first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and connect your battery. Make sure that you have power to the car and that your battery isn't dead. So we're just going to put that on just like so. I have a power tester right here, so I'm going to find a good ground on the vehicle, somewhere where I can put the other end of this and attach it to. Probably attach it to right here. And then we're going to go ahead inside of the car, turn the ignition on, and start testing these relays in here to see which one gives power. And to test your ground, so I just have this set up right here on the side. We're gonna go ahead and touch the positive terminal of the battery, and this should light up if we do have power and the ground is good. So you can see we do have power, which means that this is working properly. So now if we test in here, what we're trying to do is, you can see, so this one lights up right here. We're just touching the top part of the fuse. There's 2 spots on the top of the fuse that you can touch. But we're just gonna go through and find one that does not have any power when the car is off right now. And then when we turn the switch on, we want there to be power to it. So here's another hot one. So this one's constant. This one doesn't have any power to it. Power there. Power there. Power. So none of these ones are showing power over here. So these would all be a decent spot, I feel, to tap. So we're gonna try this side out over here and see if any of these turn on when we turn the switch on. You're only gonna turn this 2 clicks to the right. Do not start the car. 1, 2. So now we're in the run position. We're gonna go back out there to the front of the engine bay and test those fuses out. So these are the ones that we left off with over here on this side. We'll see if they have power now. So this one does have power. That's good. That one has power, that one has power, and that one has power. So any one of these fuses right here would be fine to tap into. So let's go ahead, get a fuse tap, and wire it into one of these. I ended up going with the yellow fuse right here. This is the little, it's a mini fuse tap is what it is, because these are all mini fuses. I ended up choosing that one just because it's a yellow fuse, which is a 20 amp, so it's a little bit higher than the 10 or the 15. And also, it works out perfect because the wire ends up going out the way that all the other ones come out here. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this in here, and then we will connect this to our fuse. I have everything wired up for the most part for this relay and the extra additional fuse box. I'm just gonna show you kind of where everything goes. So this yellow wire right here, this is what goes to the actual fuse box itself. It just screws in right there. I have the black. This is going to a ground. If we follow this, I have this grounded out just right there on the back of the firewall. The white wire, I have this coming to the fuse box. Follow it all the way in here, added additional wire to it to make it long enough, and we have this tapped into a fuse. This is a ignition power, so when you turn the switch on, this will get power. When you turn the switch off, this will be powered off and it will not be draining. And then lastly, we have the blue wire to this. This is the constant power source, and this goes into, I added additional wire again. This is going directly to the battery, and this is the positive terminal right here. So this is constant power going there. So now the idea is that since this is going to be a switch, the relay, when you turn the power on the car, this will give power to the fuse box and power your accessories that you are running from this. So now we can go ahead and connect our accessories up, add fuses into whatever fuse length that you want to run here, and we'll go ahead and try this out once I install my headlights in and make sure that they work properly. We're just going to go ahead and heat shrink up all these wires on here and make sure that they're nice and secure. That's going to be a wrap for this relay video. Hopefully it made a little bit of sense to you how to wire this in if you are hooking up accessories. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.